our friend Rob Zorline. Um, we're diehard Aztec fans. We both were sporting our red and black today, so we gotta I had gotta be
Hat
good for this.
did not coordinate the hats either.
That's all right. We did not talk about it. We're both wearing the original Monty Montezuma logo.
That's right.
Yeah.
The Monty, the bad Monty.
Yes. Now, speaking of that, the Montezuma logo, with all the political correctness in the world, is since we're Aztecs, and there are no indigenous Aztecs left on the planet because that was back in the day when they were annihilated by the Spanish. Let me get this over here.
I wrote a letter to the guy who was, I think, Ozzy.
Yeah, the guy who first put the proclamation to get rid of the.
Right. And
morning, everybody.
I got basically about a form letter back about how stupid I was. So
I've never gotten that letter back from anybody, but
yeah,
oh my gosh, they're all jumping in.
I've got that back many times, unfortunately, in my life.
That's right. We'll get into that stuff, guys. It's going to be a fun show today. Rob and I go way back from our San Diego State days, and I'll tell you a story about how I was a fraternity member of the Delta Chi fraternity member, and there's a funny story behind that. And you guys will learn that today. But Rob and I go way back, and he's got a bunch of hilarious bad beat, good beat, crazy. What am I doing stories? And we did it. We did a show. Oh my gosh, 2 years ago called Storytellers, and it was hilarious. And I said, you know what? Let's bring Rob back because a lot of these guys have never heard the stories yet. So we're gonna relive my college days with Rob's Warline here. So thanks everybody for coming out to the show. We just got done watching Brian Quick Honey Slots. He opened up his new membership to the channel. You guys are so supportive. It's awesome. Thank you so much. We got quick. Let's do some quick shout outs. Doris, you're awesome. Thanks for pushing all the product on the Keno Nation side. Keno Nation 6, guys, it's amazing. We've only put the announcement out a week ago, and of 150 RSVPs, we're already at 120 something. You better. Wow. It's crazy. It's the support from our people is amazing, and
yeah, group of people that follow you.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, I will get the shout outs in. Make sure if you have any questions for Rob, it's going to be hilarious today. Oh my God, my computer all went. All right, what's going on, man?
Hanging in there. It's for me. It's a struggle, but I try to keep a positive attitude.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And I asked Rob, hey, Vegas. Oh my God, a $5 super chat already. Hey, James and Rob Z Nation. And preparing breakfast. You guys, Vegas, you're always love you so much. That's so.
You need to have some kind of gimmick when you get a super chat. I've seen these people, like some people ring a bell or they do. You got to have some kind of
ring the bell. Ringing the bell. Oh my gosh, that rings the bell
thing, right?
You know what? Next live stream, I'm going to have a bell. We'll just check. What a great idea. Top contributor, Rob Zorline. Oh my God, I can't wait.
Right.
So before we jump in, we've had some new people email me this week and wanted to join the show. So today's Rob's Warline. Next week, Steve and Danielle from formerly Slotty D, now Vegas Action, they're going to be on the show next Sunday morning. It's amazing. Misty Mitch and I finally communicated, and she's our viewer from the Philippines. And we've set up a time. It's going to be 7 p.m. at night, our time on Sunday, because it's Monday morning. And for us to line up, I didn't want to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning for the show because you'd all be in bed. So we'll do a 7 p.m. show next Sunday, and it'll be, she said, 6 in the morning her time. So she says, I'm up. She's doing her stuff, and Monday's her day off. So we'll do it that time.
You're going prime time, Bob.
We're going international prime time, which is so fun. And she's excited to do it. She's excited. She's very humble and shy. And I had coaxed her, but her and I are very good friends. We've talked a couple of times live on her show, and we'll get her on ours.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
She's a very community-oriented person. She does a lot of helpful things to children and help her seniors. Can't wait to share her with you guys. It's amazing. And then after that, so Chris and Lou on December 10th, they had a family emergency last time they were scheduled. They're all ready to go. And I got an email 3 days ago from one of our viewers, Bama Tex, Jeff from Bama Tex, and big Alabama Crimson Tide fan. And it was so fun when the Aztecs beat the Alabama in the NCAA tournament.
Oh, God, that was.
He immediately sent me a message. Go Aztecs! It was awesome.
One of the greatest days of my life.
One of the greatest days in Aztec history. Rob and I called each other and crying. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it was amazing. But once again, we're always the bridesmaid in the finals. So
Bridesmaid.
And then Peter and Sarah, they reached out to me the other day too, and they're going to be a guest on to open there on January 14th. And then Gambling Mitzi's still scheduled January 21st. And then Jennifer Nakayama and now have a date. She's the CEO of the Oklahoma president and CEO of the Oklahoma Downtown Tourism Council. She's on January 20th. If you want to be part of the show and have a lot of fun talking, telling your personal story, please email me at james@jscashout.com. James@jscashout.com. And we'll get you on. We're already into late January. Oh my gosh.
Fun.
Let's go. Rob,
All right, brother.
where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Manhattan Beach, California. Two brothers. Went to aviation high school, which I'm very proud of. Unfortunately, the school closed the year after I graduated.
Close.
Closed down. They took a vote, and there was not enough kids in the South Bay to support 3 high schools. So they took a very political vote, as a bunch of the members had gone to one of the high schools that probably should have closed, but I'm not bitter. It's only been 40 years. So I
Oh my God. Can I interject one time? Doris Grady wrote Roll Tide. Vicky Spit and Neely wrote, I guarantee there are no female fans of the Crimson Tide. Love it.
That's
Love
hilarious.
it. There's plenty of room on the Aztecs bandwagon, guys. Join in.
Join the band. Plenty of room.
Join. We have a thing here in San Diego. It's called Aztecs for Life. And Rob and I are big time members. So anyway, aviation closes down.
Closed out. So then I went to San Diego State and I joined the Delta Chi fraternity, which I'm very proud of. Still very
Yes.
proud of that. It's basically how you and I met. So one of the things that I love about it is all the great people that I met.
Yeah, so true.
Years
Yeah.
and still friends with 10 or 15 of them that I actively speak to them. And most of the time we're bitching about how shitty the Aztecs are, but
hey, so what are your folks? I've known your folks for a long time. What are your folks' names?
My mom's name is Siglinda.
Wow.
It's the protagonist in a Wagner opera, The Cry of the Valkyries. You know that? Dun, da, da, da,
Yes.
da, da, da. And my stepdad's name is Bob. One of the greatest guys around. He's avid sports guy, golfer. He's 86 years old, still golfs 2 times a week.
Oh, that's awesome.
Never stops, always doing something around the house.
Yeah.
The yard, all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
great. He's a little bit of a gambler edge to him too, right?
He is a gambler. He basically got into horse racing.
Yes. Oh my God, we got some horse racing stories for you guys today. So funny.
Oh yeah. So yeah. And my mom is even a gambler. She'll say, like, if your horse comes in second, she'll go, "You didn't back it up." So, or yesterday or last week she was saying, well, the Chargers are great, but boy, they fumble a lot. So she loves the Dodgers. Loves.
Oh gosh, that's the one stumbling part.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah,
it's okay. Dodgers is like a curse. Even though Dodgers and Raiders were like curse words in this town because of the affiliation. And there's no shame to all those guys that went. And you and Rob and I know that we're San Diegans at heart, but he's an LA guy. But not one team Rob and I have ever cheered for, ever, has won a championship.
Dodgers, but
that's the one. That's the one thing. I don't know why we're still friends, but
I was kind of a Raider fan too.
Right.
I like the Raiders a lot, and when I was at San Diego State, I had a Raider sticker on my car, and some guy flipped me off.
Yes.
I started swerving towards my car. I'm pretty sure he had a Charger thing on his car, so I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Well, they're all saying hi to Ellen in the chat. Ellen just got back on Thursday night. She's doing real well. She came very tough. We got back from our Euro trip. She immediately went camping for 3 days with her Norwegian Sons of Norway Lodge, because she does a lot of volunteers and work with them, the seniors there. So she helped them run their pre-Thanksgiving camping weekend, and then immediately got on a plane, flew to New York, and went on another cruise with her girlfriend. So I haven't seen Ellen in 3 weeks. So
if you have not met Ellen, guys, Bubba completely outkicked his coverage. She is just the sweetest, nicest, beautiful, great woman. I love her so much. So yeah, you guys got to get to know Ellen.
A lot of the Keno Nation events and on, because Ellen does not want to be on front of the camera. Oh. Literally, she'll get mad at me. I'm like, come on, they want to see you. Our viewers love her, and then because she is everything you just described and more.
Yeah.
and we're coming up on 30 years of marriage and 33 years together, and luckiest guy in the world right here.
One of
Um,
my big regrets is that I missed your wedding. And you did that at, didn't you do it at Excalibur?
Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had just opened. This is a funny story.
Right.
It's a funny story. Ellen had previously been married, and I was one of her best friends. We were best friends for 6 years, and we were gonna go get. She goes, "Hey, let's go get married in costumes," and I'm like,
I remember that. Yeah.
and I go, "Okay," and I was like, "It's my first marriage," and I'm like, "Okay," because we always cave into the women's ideas, and I go, "Okay, let's do that." So we go. Excalibur had only been open like 3 or 4 or 5 months, and we go to, and they had a nice wedding chapel on the whatever floor, and we go get fitted in king and queen costumes, and it was all, I had the crown and she had the scepter and the whole thing, and so we drive back to Vegas 2 weeks before our wedding to go make sure the fit. Um, and we go in there, and there's a lady at the counter, and there's nobody else in the room, and I see on the top of this top shelf there's a bag that says Spitzer on it. Hey, we're here for our 10:30 in the morning fitting. We just drove out from 4 o'clock in San Diego. Yada, yada. Well, I'm here by myself. I can't help you. And I go, ma'am, I have an appointment at 10:30. We just drove 5 hours to be here on time for this appointment. Yeah, but I'm here by myself. I can't help you. And I go, ma'am, I can help you. Our bag's right there. It's out of her reach. I get it. I can't let you back here. And I go, I'm here. I'm 6'2". I'll help you. I'll get the bag down for you. And Ellen's saying, love you too, Rob.
Oh,
She's in the back.
nice.
Um,
Okay.
you guys are awesome. Ellen is awesome. So we're at the venue. I can see our costumes in this bag on the shelf above the lady's reach, and she refuses to help us. And I'm like, ma'am, I just drove almost 350 miles to be here right now, and our wedding's in 2 weeks. We're here for this. I understand, sir, but I can't help you right now. Right? Ellen starts to tear up, and we walk out of the office. I go, you know what? I go, I have an idea. I don't want my wedding to be considered a joke. Let's go get tuxedos and a dress. And so we immediately turned around and drove right back to San Diego. We were in Vegas for 10 minutes and then drove the 350 miles back to San Diego. I said, I had 3 guys in my wedding: Mike Smith, Mike Golovko, who you guys know very well, and one of my best friends from high school and work, Roy Richardson. So, guys, just wear slacks and a white button-down shirt. I'll take care of the rest. Ellen's gonna go get dresses. She went and rounded up teal dresses, and we got matching things. And then we raced back to Vegas 2 weeks later, and went off without a hitch. It was a beautiful wedding, and the guy said, "Hey, make sure you bring exact change. It's $35 for the service fee, and then all the stuff." So the wedding goes off beautiful. We were so scrambling. Ellen forgot makeup. Now, if you ever saw our wedding pictures, you can't tell. She's so beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't wear makeup in the wedding, but you didn't know because she's so beautiful. And I'm just staring at it like, oh my God, there's an angel walking down the aisle.
Right.
And so the wedding's over, and the guy said, remember, it's $35 for this in exact change. And I go, I'm so sorry, sir. Here's $100 bill. And he pulls out this giant gangster roll. It must have been, I don't know, 520. And he just goes, and don't worry about it. He peels off $65. And I go, here, just keep the $65 as a tip because you were so good. But it was the amount, it was like a giant rock of money. Oh my gosh. But that was 30 years ago, and and we have so much fun together. We laugh. She keeps me because I talk too much like I'm doing right now, and she tones me down. But
I've heard her say that many times. She's allowed to say it though. So
she's allowed to say it. Yes, all my friends and acquaintances love Ellen. She's amazing. So what did your stepdad do for a living?
He was a lawyer.
Oh my gosh, little influence there.
Little influence,
Yeah.
and he was. It was one of the reasons I became a lawyer. The other was
Hi, everybody.
The movie To Kill a Mockingbird was one of
Oh my gosh,
all-time favorites, and I loved Atticus Finch so much. And of course, I've never helped anybody like he has, but
no, I wouldn't say. Come on, Rob.
I try.
Yeah. What now? Did your mother's name is such a long? Did they call her Sig?
Siggy.
Siggy. What did Siggy do?
My mom was a stay-at-home mom until I was I think, a sophomore in high school, and then
Thank you, Kathy.
For the city of Manhattan Beach. Then she worked at the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, she's like an administrative assistant.
Okay.
Thing. And then she went to work for an insurance company that does like a broker, insurance broker.
Yeah.
She worked there till she retired at about. I think she retired about 19. Not night. She retired when she was about 63.
Wow.
So,
You know,
so they,
you don't
they,
appreciate that was we all grew up. A lot of our viewers are of age, and the old thing about grinding it out, work to
yeah,
65, put your thing and save your pennies, blah 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 blah. That's slightly changing now, because this world has gone crazy on us, and that grind. I'm trying to retire at 59, and we're putting our pennies together and having some fun with this YouTube thing, which is just for fun. But that'll because I love doing this. I love seeing people like you on my screen and our viewers. But I'm going to retire at 59 and a half, and then that's because I
I
can. And
I you can't. The one thing you'll never get back is time. So,
right,
uh, you know,
yeah,
it's I think better to spare a few bucks and have a good time. In your later
yeah,
life.
yeah. My time with my wife is more valuable than anything I own right now. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And you got two great kids too.
Yes, my boys are fantastic,
Yeah.
and we'll get to that. So you married Christy,
Christy. Yeah.
and his
Nice.
daughter's name is Cameron, which is my also born at the same time. We named our kids.
It was so funny because when you named your kid Cameron, I'm like, damn it, I'm thinking he lives in
That's right.
San Diego, I live in LA, or I lived in Orange County at the time, you know, and what although they'll probably get married, but otherwise, why not? I just thought it was a great name,
Yeah.
and I think you named your Cameron because of Cameron and Ferris Bueller.
We didn't. I told a story a couple weeks ago. I said I wanted to name him Anthony Gwynn Spitzer,
Oh,
and she was steadfast. We're not naming him Gwynn. Um, and she wanted Tor, which is Thor. She wanted because of the Norwegian heritage.
yeah,
And I said we're not naming our son Thor. Um, so Cameron was the compromise. So that was the one name that we didn't disagree, but that was the one name you know what Cameron James. We can call him CJ. Now, I'm a big nickname guy, or shorten your name, and because a lot of the times his name is Rob Warline, but we call him Frank for other reasons.
right,
Um, you know.
Frank the
So yeah. So going to school, you also in the step to your stepfather, you went to let's talk about Delta Chi first. We hadn't even left the scene. Delta Chi, Rob and my brothers from the fraternity. The story, this is a true story. I started working at SeaWorld. I just got done. I got injured playing college baseball at another school, and I was a pretty. I would say I was a pretty good baseball player. I was third in San Diego County my senior year in hitting. I hit almost 500 my senior year, and had some opportunities. Was not the best student. Um, I had multiple scholarship offers to play baseball in college at the next level, and when they pulled my transcript, they said, "Sorry, Mr. Spitzer, we can't accept you as a student." That was before Prop 48, where they could get you in and get your schooling. It was either you were qualified as a student or you were not. I was a 2.6 student in high school. I was very shy, but I focused on sports and not classroom. So it cost me the Division I level. But I went to a local junior college and got hurt my first semester. Got hit in the face and my eye ruptured and um, ended my career just like that. So I'm working at SeaWorld and I bump into a guy named Mike Smith, who was a fraternity brother of Rob Zwerline. Says, "Hey, we got a way. We want you to play for the fraternity teams because you're a good athlete." And I go, "Dude, I don't go to school there." I go, "Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that." So back in those
did not.
days,
Oh, we did not.
it was it was a paper ID that we would white out the dates and put new dates. So for 3 years, my name at San Diego State was Ray Shea. And because Ray Shea graduated, he just left the
Right.
student ID. They left all just leader IDs. So for the fraternity games, I played football, basketball, and softball for Delta Chi fraternity, having never attended one class or enrolled at the school. But I now have lifelong friends like Rob and Izetta and Shu and I mean all those guys. So
So
what led you to San Diego State? Go
I,
ahead.
I was going to be on today. I don't know if anybody actually got up this early, but we'll see.
Yeah,
Anyway,
all successful. Everybody in that group, all successful.
yep, yep.
We're a
Great,
bunch
great.
of fun-loving guys
Yeah,
that just like to have a lot of fun. A lot of adult beverages later. It was
yeah.
yeah,
When I get together with those guys, I have no voice when I get home. And
yeah,
it's more.
I hung out with Mike and Brad last night.
Did
That's
you?
why I'm a little. Yeah, they had a little seat back in the day. We did a thing called Sports Day where you played. We'd bowl and basketball. Well, last night we did the Silver Legacy Edition. We're all of 60 now, so we did cornhole, ping pong, and chipped the golf ball into the pool thing. So we toned down the athletic ability and made it fun, and we played cards. I got home like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning, so I'm a little tired and hoarse. But
Miles brothers never invite me to anything, so I don't know. They it's not like we're not friends. I think they just forget about me sometimes. But
sorry.
when
So what led you to state though?
one of their weddings, or I got Brad calls me up and goes, "Oh my God, your invitation fell between the seats."
Oh my gosh.
But I'm so sorry, but you're so invited. Please come. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Okay.
what led you to state? What led you to state?
My best friend growing up, a guy named Andy Bloomberg, his
Yes.
was a Delta Chi at San Diego State. And I met prior to going to San Diego State, Andy's parents had I think it was a 30th wedding anniversary, and Joel Bryden was there.
Joel Bryden.
And a couple other guys. But I talked to Joel for a really long time, and I really liked him. And so that was my initial foray. I had just seen the movie Animal House, which is the movie ever made. It should have won an Academy Award. We all know how political it is. Just don't like comedy.
Oh my gosh.
So
funny.
yeah, I really. And the other thing, I just got to put this in. I saw as a double feature, Animal House and Slapshot.
Oh my gosh.
At a local theater was 75 cents at this local theater.
Remember those days? That's so funny.
And I walked out of there. I couldn't breathe. My stomach was so bad. I never laughed so much in my life. So
Rob and I have about 3 or 4 movies that we incessantly text each other quotes from the movie.
And it just goes like for maybe 5 minutes. You can just go back and forth.
Yes. And Animal House is one of them. Caddyshack. Slapshot, but the coup de grace, as we say.
Coup de grace.
Let It Ride. It's a classic gambling movie around horse racing. Richard Dreyfuss. If you have not seen it, and they got the guy that did the song "Hot Hot Hot." Forgot his name.
Buster. No, not Buster Keaton.
Buster. Oh my gosh, we all know who it is.
Now, yeah, it was David Johansen.
David Johansen. Yeah. Yes. And then one of the twin girls,
Tilly girls.
The Tilly, Meg Tilly.
The football salesman.
The football salesman. It's hilarious. Terry Garr's in it, and there's so many gambling one-line jokes that are just, if you get Rob and I know the movie by heart, we can sit there and quote the scene by scene. It's hilarious, and something happens in our lives that goes that he'll send me the picture. And my favorite line in the movie, and it's from a thing, Meg Tilly goes and she's brother bucks him in the movie, and Richard Dreyfuss is mulling his next wager at the horse corral, and she walks up and goes, "Guess who?" And she leans on his back. He goes, "A football salesman." sorry, guy is a guy.
We're not sexist, misogynistic. We promise.
We have grown up and matured.
Yeah, but a little.
Oh my god. So the Delta Chi fraternity, a bunch of fun-loving guys, and but very competitive. And Rob will know we played ball every day, and we played for something. We always had wagers or beers, and we were dominant. We owned the Greek row and most of the sports.
We were a very small house too. We were probably at the height when I was there, probably 30, 35 guys, and we would play houses that had 120, 140.
Yes, and kill them
a lot of times.
Yeah. I remember rolling out of bed on a drunken stupor from a Friday night at the OB Cafe, because we would have the opening happy hour and then they'd have the closing happy hour at midnight, and somehow not how Jennifer Tilly, yes, Mrs. Iris, yes, Let It Ride. She said, "I love that movie. It's a great movie. You guys got to watch it. It's a cult classic. Low budget, but it's Trevor Demons, the race caller from Del Mar. It's so funny.
Trevor in the movie."
Yeah. But we would show up out of a drunken stupor. And remember, guys, my viewers all know I don't drink, but from 21 to 22 and a half, I drank a lot, and a lot. If you were in the Delta Chi fraternity, it is very much Animal House on some scale.
Yeah,
we all had it was the movie Animal House we were the Delta Chi's, and it was the same fraternity that they used in the movie. We were very much like that. We would roll out of a drunken stupor Friday night and roll in with 6 guys to play a softball game, and a minimum of 6 to play. So I would play first base, one other infielder, 2 outfielders, and a catcher, and we would still win.
Yeah.
We would be.
One thing I will say is that I can pretty much guarantee we never took liberties with our female party guests.
I almost spit that one. But have we ever poured mustard on our chest? Probably
I
so.
did. I have a picture of it. I'll send it to you.
Oh my God.
I had like a sheet, and it was all ripped up, and so I
Oh
decided,
my gosh.
let's do the mustard thing. And
Yeah,
people thought it was hilarious at the time.
it was hilarious. A lot of fun. The Delta, we could tell Delta Chi stories till we pass out.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get to the gambling stories because these are even more hilarious.
Yeah.
So I want to brag about your daughter.
My daughter is great. She's right now. She graduated from USC with high honors.
USC, which
And,
was not a. If you guys don't know tuition at USC, it's in the high range of tuitions.
Steep. It's very steep. So now she is at Chapman University getting her master's, actually
Wow.
a dual master's in fine arts and English. And when she finishes this, she could teach junior college English.
Wow.
So I don't think that's what her aspirations are. She's
Right.
still trying to figure out life
Yeah.
a little bit, but she's just great. She's very funny. She's got a great sense of humor, which makes it really easy to talk to her.
Exactly.
And I don't see her enough, but
my Cameron lives here, and I don't see him enough. He's
Yeah.
girlfriend, and he's going back. He got his degree from San Diego State, which is I cried when he enrolled at San Diego State because I called you immediately. Said, dude, he was. I've always wanted to be an Aztec, and he passed on some basketball scholarships in the Midwest.
And that was just fantastic. I mean,
yeah. Ellen and I looked at each other and I go, but because he's gone to every game that we've gone to, I take my kids everywhere.
Yeah.
And he's gone to games because I've always wanted to be an Aztec. And we go to games now, and basketball is such a fun thing right now for us. Football is rough because the football team's a mess right now. Yeah. But him and I bond on SDSU stuff every day.
The Spitzers always send me if they have an extra giveaway item, they're always sending it to me, which is so sweet.
Yeah.
Stuff. I mean, you guys are awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man. And so we're going to get into, so after that, you went in the steps of your stepfather, you went the legal route after college.
Yeah. I pretty much narrowed it down to either psychology or law when I was in high school. And
wow.
I decided to go to San Diego State, and I did not get very good grades in high school. I was just not focused. I didn't really enjoy it. I played sports and was on student council, and that's what kind of kept me going. I mean, I just really enjoyed the schooling. I guess I was bored. They say most geniuses are bored when they're in high school. So, anyway.
Whatever makes you feel better.
Makes me think of it. But I decided on San Diego State because of my connection there.
Yeah.
I really loved it. And I really loved USC as well. It's a whole different level. We spoke about the alumni thing.
Yes.
It's a whole different level. I get stuff from USC almost every day. Either a letter. Most of the time they're asking for money, but if they try to keep that connection, and I wish San Diego State would do that more. Push that Aztec for life. Let's get more people involved. Got to fill that stadium. We just built this beautiful stadium, and there's nobody there. Nobody
goes. It's tough. Plus the product. This was the one year if they were a football team, they had to be good this year.
Yeah,
they're so bad.
And I think
they're so bad. Nobody goes.
Yeah, and it may be irreparable.
Yeah, and I've had season tickets to both football and basketball with my wife and my kids since 1992. I'm 23rd in priority at the stadium. So when they built it, and I don't think I've told this, they tore down Qualcomm where the Chargers played and the Aztecs shared. It's now a college environment, 35,000 seat stadium. It's a beautiful stadium, and they've toned down as far as the seating capacity. It's 35,000. So, hey, Mr. Spitzer, we just looked at the record. You're 23rd. You can get any seats you want. I go, wow. we have this club offer for you. And now, I'll remind you guys, I paid for 4 season tickets in the family section, right behind the bench, upper lower level, perfect seats, scoreboards on both sides. Loved our seats for 30 years.
Oh yeah, they were great seats.
And they were $150 a season per seat, so $600 plus the Aztec family. You had to pay $225 per to pay for the Aztec to the scholarship fund. The offer for the highest seat at the new stadium, $20,000 per seat, and you had to pay $8,000 for the building fund. And I go, sir, let me get this straight. I just paid $600 for 4 seats to watch all the games
You know,
and pay. So it came to about $1,000 after all the fees. You're now asking me to pay $56,000 for 2 seats, and I get to watch UNLV, New Mexico. Horrible schedule. And I go, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So then call me, and they were filling the seats from the bottom up. So then they go, okay, we'll call you when the load is level. Okay, and Mr. Spencer, we got a great deal for you. The load seats are $13,500 a seat. You still owe the $8,000. It's a one-time building fund fee. And I go, let me remind you, I just paid $600. I go, no. So, and I kept going and going up. So then there's the lower section and there's the upper section. The ADA row is they were $1,700 a seat, but 10 feet higher is only $800. I said, I'll take, we're in the 50-yard. You've been to our seats.
Yeah.
They're 50-yard line, staring right above the tunnel where they come out. And it's still $1,700. And I owed another $1,500 for the building fund. So for the first year, we paid nearly $5,000 for 2 seats, and now we pay $1,700 for the season. And we sit there at these games, and they just lost 6-0 to the second worst team in the country, who had lost 16 games in a row, and they beat us 6-0.
And we didn't even have a chance to score. It was
It
horrible.
was the most boring. And I go, we just spent $1,700 to watch it. The football program is doomed.
Yeah, it's doomed.
It's
Yeah.
doomed. Anyway, let's get to some fun stuff. Gosh, why'd you do that to me?
Ellen posted it saying that you have to have like a 4.0 to get into San Diego State. That is true.
Yes.
And that's how USC. Well, the law school's different, but USC, you could write a check, and you could get into USC back in the 80s, and it's like the 10th hardest school to get into in the country. So
correct. But San Diego State, from your days and our days, you could get in with a 2.8 and a connection. Now, if you're not even a 4.0, they won't even look at your application.
I had friends studying for the SAT. I'm like, why are you studying for that? I like 600 or something to get in. So
yeah, exactly. Cameron got in. Cameron got a perfect score on his SAT, graduated with a 4.6, and you had to do community service. So he was a member of the Key Club. And when they only accept 10% of their student bodies from local kids. So to get in there, because they make so much more money on the out-of-state tuition. Yeah, locally. So Cameron saved his money. It cost us for his entire 5 years was in the 70,000 range. But if you're out of state, it's $28,000 plus a mandatory $15,000 room and board.
Right.
So it's just crazy.
So I was in the Key Club, by the way, and I got
there you go.
I got the Key Club scholarship, $500. That paid for tuition for the first 2 years. Isn't that crazy?
Can't pass up on that.
Yeah, right. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna get into the
fun stuff.
The fun stuff. You got online gambling. So Rob and I were talking. We got this story. It's absolutely hilarious. I remember you calling me. Hey, dude, I'm up 18 grand. But tell the story because it's absolutely hilarious. Because you were in your office one day and decided.
In my office, and this is the beginning of online gambling, and it's this in Bermuda or somewhere in the islands, and I was going to play a couple hands of blackjack. I put in $200, and I ran it up to $18,000. It was one of those things too, where like I'd make a bet, and I'd have like $1,000 blackjack hand. I'd have an 11. I'd double. And then the internet would go out and it would be like, holy crap. So, trying to log back in, this is the early days.
Yeah.
I had an office, which was right next to like the charging station or something so we were right next to the internet. So we had pretty fast internet, but it would go out. And so I'd come back and I won $2,000. So I'm up about 18,000, and then I started to lose.
Wait. 18,000. And you called me, dude.
Oh,
I'm
that's
on
right.
this
I did
heater.
call, and I
I'm
thought,
on this heater. I'm up 18 grand on it. I'm like, what? Rob, cash out. Rob, cash out. Rob, take that money. Blah, 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 blah.
I didn't take that advice. I lost it all.
Oh.
And then I called my brother, talking to my brother, who, by the way, is at a comp stay at Ringcon right now. Harrah's Ring, and he's when our thing for him is we do from Vegas Vacation. How the tables treat you last night, Clark? About even. So that's our little stick.
Yeah.
So he says, "Look, you can't look at it like you lost $18,000. You lost 200.
Oh my gosh.
Take a nap, put in another 200, and just play for a while, see how you do." Well, I ended up winning about 16,000 on that, and
Crazy.
they sent me a check, and I was playing craps also,
Yeah.
and yeah, that, and I don't think I've really actually ever recovered from that. I've toned my gambling way down since then.
Yes.
I
Yes.
realized I had a problem.
Yeah. But he called me when it was up 18,000. He did not call me when he was down
I did
18,000. But
because
then he called me back, dude. I'm still up. I go, what? He's like, well, the truth is,
yeah,
I lost 18 grand. You were going to spend, I remember this. You said, I got 50 minutes to kill. I'm going to play for 15 minutes. You ended up playing for like 10 hours. You never went home till something in the morning because you couldn't turn the damn thing off.
it was about
Hilarious.
my daughter was not born yet, so oh yeah, she was, because we went to Hawaii, and we actually flew first class to Hawaii on that money, and it was a great trip.
Absolutely. Rob and I were at one of the Delta Chi trips to Las Vegas, and his wife at the time, Christy, was with us, and all the guys and our girlfriends and wives at the time. And I remember Rob was like he was getting beat up at the blackjack table, and he goes, "Hold on a second, I'll be right back." And I'm standing kind of like 20 feet behind him, and he's doing the old. Is my wife looking at the? He goes to the ATM and he punches in and gets the money out, and she walks. She's now standing behind him, and he doesn't see her. It's hilarious. And I'm like, oh shit, she's here. And he turns around and he goes, "What are you doing?" And she just snatches the money out of his hand and walks off. So,
She didn't
and I
talk.
go,
That's a baker.
"That's right." On the drive back, you guys didn't even talk to each other. But he walks over and goes, "Hey, Bub, aren't you up right now?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm up about $300 or $400." He goes, "Can you spot me $300 or $400? I still want to play." But
Brother,
then you won. But then you took my money and then you won.
I did.
Yeah, it was. We all have our early in our relationship stories about because Ellen, if you remember, Ellen did not like gambling, and if she lost $20, she was upset.
Oh,
Well, now
yeah.
Ellen and I, we're leaving this interview and we're going up the hill to go to Verona again because I'm on kind of a heater, and she hit a $21,000 grand before she went on these trips, and we're kind of like we got to see if the streak's still going because
Ryder,
yeah. Oh
Ryder
my God.
bucks you.
Yes. We
My
got tell the story of there's two horse racing stories I want to get into. One is the one you and I and the Glauco were on the rail with uh what was the name of that damn horse?
lemon
Uh,
juice.
no, it was the one that the jockey fell off.
Oh,
Jolie's Halo.
Jolie's
Joe
hay.
so it's the second edition of the Pacific Classic at Del Mar, which is the biggest race at Del Mar. It's only the second year running. Del Mar is at that time is trying to become a bigger track and get more national attention. So they come up with $1 million race called the Pacific Classic. Well, the second year, Rob and I and Mike Smith and all big horse racing fans, there's a horse there, guys. It's the only speed horse. So if you understand horse racing, it's the only horse that's going to go to the lead and try to hang on. Um, and so we go, so they fly in the jockey Edgar Prada from Arlington Park in the Chicago area, and we're all there. And it's always the seventh race of eight or eighth of nine. It's always the feature race. And Rob and I and Mike, and if you know Del Mar, you can stand on the rail right at the finish line. There's the asphalt spot, and there are Mike, me, Rob, and the other Mike. We got every ticket tied, the exact the parlays, pick three, pick six, pick four, win, play, show, all these things. And they're loading up, and I'll never forget this moment. The four of us are literally on the track, and the crowd's behind us. And Trevor Demon in his classic, and away they go. And Jolie's Halo's lost his rider. We're like, what? What did he say? What did he say? And there goes our horse running by with nobody on his back. and the four of us, like a movie. What the? And there's our jockey laying on the ground, and every ticket is immediately dead.
Yep.
And it was like we just spent all day for this moment for this
That
horse.
was the only reason we were there. Pretty much. I mean,
Yeah,
back
for the race, but
back then,
that race was a lock. That's the mortal lock.
it's a mortal lock, and I'm gonna wheel it.
You had, I remember you telling a story, the horse exhibitionist.
Yeah. So this exhibitionist didn't pan out as a stud, so they brought him back, and
That's right, he had retired.
he had retired, and they got Chris McCarron to ride it, and so I didn't make a big bet. I think it was about $50, but I didn't go to the track that day. But he lost the rider right at the beginning, and of course, that without a jockey, the horses are a little bit faster.
Disqualified. Yeah.
He's out way ahead running, and I swear to you, when he got to the finish line, that son of a bitch jumped the finish line. Like, and it was like, hey, great, nice, glad you won.
Oh my gosh, so funny.
There's one of my favorite horse racing stories though is one year I just broke up with my girlfriend, and this is we had a tradition that Hollywood Park used to run on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that's right.
And so my brother and I would go for a couple races on Christmas Eve before we lived pretty close to the track. So we would go bet a couple races, come home.
Hi, Kissy Cat.
So I was in a terrible mood, broke up with this girl. And so my brother and I are handicapping, and he likes another horse. I like this horse called Top Corsage. And so
it's amazing that we remember the horses' names. This is 30 something years ago.
Oh, yeah. This is in 1988. So I go to make my bet, and back then too, we would just go over everything, and we bet at the last minute. So I go up there, and I just get up to the window, and the guy slaps the thing closed.
Oh,
it's closed. So I go, come on, there's like 40 seconds left. Come on. And the guy does this. I didn't take this job to get yelled at. And then, of course, the horse wins.
The horse wins.
So there's my happy Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Along that line, Ellen and I, in our early horse, I used to be really into horse racing. I have a portrait on my wall with the horses turning for home and a thing, and I paid a bunch of money for it. And because I was really into horse racing, me and Golovko, at a time back in the day, we had a 1-800 call us. We'll give you a pick. And it was a $4.99 per call, and we will give you like a pick for the day, like a lock win. It didn't last very long. It got expensive. It was more expensive than it was worth it. And if you don't have a following. So anyway, Ellen and I used to go to the track a lot, or we would go down to Mexico, because where we live, Mexico is 20 minutes away. And we would go down to the Highlight building, and Highlight was still played in Mexico at the time, with the guys with the canastas, and you throw the ball against the wall and you catch it. But they had a sports book there called Agua Caliente. So Ellen will never forget this story. And I think you and I talked about this before. So she'd always like to throw a long shot in with a favorite, or two long shots in a favorite. And I go, okay, hey, she goes up. I say, make sure, hey, bet this for me. I'm going to take these two guys, two favorites and whatever. So it's at the last minute, like you always say, because if a horse goes to the bathroom before he races, you change your bet, because now that horse feels better and all this other stupid ideas. You talk yourself and you change your bet. So she runs up to the window, and there's like five guys, and the race getting ready to go off. She gets to the window. She bets my bet first. And then the race closes. She doesn't get her bet in because she made my bet first. She's walking back, and she's like, I didn't get my bet in. I go, well, that's okay. Your horses are terrible. They're not going to win. So, of course, they turn for home, and my two horses in the lead. And here comes her two long shots. They both fly by. They fly by and win. They go 1-2, and it's like 40-1 and 50-1. And she just looks. She just goes. It gives me the look.
The look, yeah.
The look. So it's a $2 exacta, paid like $580, and like, oh my god.
I've seen that look many times.
Oh my god,
sure.
that gambling look is. But she's betting like she only wants to bet like $4 or $6 a race, because that's still
Yeah,
Horse racing's so hard.
it is.
Yeah.
I have
Any gambling is
a
hard.
little funny highlight story. My brother and I went down and we went to bet. Was the Giants and Vikings, and that was still when LT was, playing.
Oh, the Giants.
So we're watching the highlight, and the highlight they put the odds up, and it's all 99-1.
Right.
So my brother goes, and there's like maybe 20 people there. My brother goes,
Right. Nobody goes.
Watch the board. So I go and I'm looking, and all of a sudden one of the guys is 1-20. My brother bet dollars on it, and it went to 1-20.
I remember because the first bet would skew the odds so badly. And they had the guy they always had the guy that Humberto, and he was a guy built like me.
Oh yeah, I remember.
He was so good. He would move the ball around, but nobody would bet him because he's a big guy, big heavy guy, but he would always finish in the money.
That guy was so fast.
Yeah,
big guy. I mean, he had the moves, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. We remember the guy's name.
I don't remember Humberto, for God's sake.
Humberto. You got to bet Humberto because he doesn't look like he never wins, but he's always in the first three, which means he gets paid. So it's so funny. I remember those days we would walk down and we always thought $100 was a lot to gamble with, and you try to stretch your money out.
No kidding.
And highlight matches, because it's 8 guys, and once you get eliminated, you get down, and the guy would get points, and it's the first one to 7. Whoever got to 7 points ends the game, and it's 7, 5, and 3, and that was your trifecta exacta stuff. And you'd bet $3, $4 to try to hit something.
Yeah.
And tacos were nothing, and beers were $1.
Yeah, you get a Corona for $1.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun.
Blanca, whatever it was.
And then getting back across the border was always the adventure. And
you can't. I mean, now I don't think does anybody go cross the border anymore. I mean, it's so dangerous.
Because you can still bet sports across the border. However,
you can? I didn't know that.
That's still the Agua Caliente sports books are still there. However, Ellen and I stopped going. We used to go every Saturday in the morning to go bet college football and pro football and bet parlay tickets and bet football and sports and take $100 each and try to put a bunch of tickets together. And if you won tickets the next week, you take them back down, get your 5 tacos for $1, get your free beer, and bet. So it would last all year long because you'd hit something.
Yeah.
We would go down Ellen and I had so much fun getting tacos. That's right. Ellen says 4 for $1.
4 for $1.
And 4 for $1. And they were the big fatty street tacos that were loaded with such a deal. And you go through $25 for 20 tacos.
I know.
Man, get your fill. So much fun. And then Julie goes, how many blankets did you buy? The monkey on a surfboard piggy bank. We had one of those. We had the
monkey. They also saw the monkey with the Nazi helmet. Don't forget about that.
Oh my gosh, that's right. And then you had it was the elephant on the magic carpet piggy bank. So fun. It was TJ was such a fun, inviting thing, but then the cartels getting closer and closer and closer. So once El Chapo got arrested, Tijuana, which is a fun town, a lot of clubs, and everybody when you were in high school, because everything was 16 to 18 years, you could do anything you wanted. They would all race down there, party Friday, Saturday nights, and then stumble back on the trolley because the trolley would take you back downtown.
Yeah,
and the trolley was a quarter. Trolley used to cost 25 cents.
Yeah.
Those were some fun days.
I had a lot of chiclets.
Chiclet. Exactly. But we used to have a lot of those because you always bartered, and they always you cheap as skate, and then he always called me. We'd go down walking. Hey Rambo, hey, because they always try to call your name.
Guy wanted me to come into a club or something, and I didn't say, and he goes, "Hey, number 56." I think he was talking about my suit size.
Ellen just says, but people still go, yes. So now that the thing is, since insurance costs are so high in the United States, people still go down there to get their dental work done and some medical work done because it's pennies on the dollar still.
A lot of reputable dentists there. You can get your teeth done and stuff, but
like Joe's Dentistry, Jose's Dentistry, but you take the smell of pine. Vin Julian's talking from experience. Yes. So, oh my God, Vin Julian, hilarious. We used to always go down for the dog racing. Now, if you guys remember, I used to own racing dogs with Mike. We would go down. Oh my God, Vin Julian, thank you for the reminder. They had the dog track. They used to run horses on the weekends at Agua Caliente, but dogs, there was a track and there was an internal track at Agua Caliente, and they were running greyhounds every night. It's like the lowest level of dog racing you can find. and you'd almost like see the same dog running every night. They're so, but it was a lot of fun. So you go down there and get the free beer or dollar beers and tacos. But one night a year, every year they did these special spider monkeys riding on the backs of the dogs races. So they they would. Can you imagine now in today's animal activist world?
That why you
Um,
called your fantasy football team the Spider
the
Monkeys?
spider monkeys. That's my. I used to have a funny. They call them spider monkeys. Um, Yes, so they was, and so if you've ever watched dog racing, there's always they break because a little rabbit on a stick would go Rusty the rabbit or Rager the rabbit would on a stick, and then the dogs would get released, and then they make the first turn, and the turn is always a pile up, and then some would tumble, and if you make it through, well, can you imagine that they got 8 spider monkeys strapped to the 8 dogs' backs, and then the tumble, all here was, and then this, and the monkeys had no choice but to because they're strapped in back in the day, hilarious,
Yeah,
so funny,
they thought it was
because
fun back then. Yeah.
yes, and the little jock man, Vin Julian's so funny. In the they all had little jockey
Little,
and little hats. Oh my gosh, yeah, I probably saw you there, Vin Julian, because we all did the same thing. And Ellen said they used to have this little mini funky little zoo with the white tigers, just putting these little small cages.
That's
You
right.
know,
Right.
crazy. This was in the '80s.
This
I
was
don't
the
even maybe even the early '90s at most.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, early '90s.
they don't do that no more.
No,
Oh
no.
my gosh. Oh my God. This is flying by, Rob. Um, what was the one time we were doing? God, I can't remember. There was a story. Anything else? Oh no. Tell the story.
Uh-oh.
You met the one guy. You and your stepdad went and played craps, and you guys were down quick. And the one guy, God, I'm down 5.
Oh,
Yes,
so yeah,
hilarious.
to Vegas with one of our coworkers, and so we get to the hotel, and of course he goes up to the room. We say, or take our luggage up there. We're going to start gambling. So
Of course,
playing
can't waste a
craps,
minute.
and I think I lost $400 in the first like 15 seconds, and then my stepdad goes down. So our friend comes down, and he's at the slot machine. And so we get together, and we're saying, "Oh, how you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm down 5, or I'm down 4. Bob's down 5." And he's like, "Oh my God, I'm down 3." And we're like, "You're down $300?" He goes, "No, I'm down $3." So we're like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna take you guys out to dinner since you're losing." So we go to the Palm, and since he says I'm paying, so okay, of course I get a 2-pound lobster.
Because you weren't paying.
That's right, and I'm down. But the funny thing about it is this every I think I talked to him maybe 2 weeks ago, and he says, "Remember that dinner I bought you guys? It was like $9,000." It goes up every single time
That's
the
yes.
dinner goes. You guys
Oh my gosh.
this dinner, because you said you were down, and the we always give him shit too for that because he was up about $400, and he told his wife, and so his wife
Yes.
demanded half the money. Well, he lost like $900,000, by the end of the trip, but he still had to give her the 200
That's right.
that he won.
Oh my God. We went on a work trip once with the guys at SeaWorld, and we were young, and we all took maybe $100 or $200. And one of the young gals that we took, um, she hit $1,000 slot machine pull
Wow.
5 minutes into the trip, and we were getting our butts kicked. And I said, "Hey, Laura, you're paying for dinner." Oh, but she was so adamant that I want to show my mom I won $1,000. So, well, since you pay for dinner, she would go back to the ATM and replace the money that she spent. And I go, "Laura, what are you doing?" She goes, "You're playing for free all weekend long." Yeah, but I want to show my mom I won $1,000. I go, "Why are you going to the ATM?" Because I want to welcome $1,000. I go, "Laura, you're now losing money. Don't just have fun. We're here for 2 days. We're not going to go to sleep. We're going to goof off." And me and Jessica Sora and Dave Del Rio and all of there, and just losing her ass. And she kept, "Hey, Laura, you're still paying for dinner." She's okay, you know. And she would kept going back to the ATM and supplementing the money that she spent. I just want to show my mom I won $1,000. I go, "Tell her, show her the receipt."
Right. Hey,
Don't go into money because now you're behind. So
that's kind of a little story like that my brother loves. We went to, I don't know where we were, but I think we were at the Hilton, and I was losing, and we went to we went. I don't know if we ended up we went to the Mirage, and I won about $5,000 playing craps. So I said,
I
all right,
love that.
I'm buying dinner. So we went to a restaurant called the Tillerman, which was one of the nicer places at the time, but it's not open anymore. My brother orders, the 2-pound lobster, T-bone steak, 2 appetizers. So I go, okay, I'll have the crab cakes and the water. And so he always gives me this story. I'll have the crab cakes and the water.
Kissy Cat just said one time her friends found $1,000 sticking out of the ATM machine at the Golden Nugget. What?
Holy crap! That's a machine that paid off.
Man, oh man.
Bucks. Wow.
Because the ATM, we all know the ATM machine sometimes is the only machine paying off in a casino until it doesn't, and then
Till it does.
you're in big trouble.
I mean, I kept CompCheck in business for about 10 years.
Exactly. Remember CompCheck? Oh my God, the cash advance crazy.
The free,
You know,
$100 was like $40 to get. It's crazy.
I remember my one crazy found money story is walking along the SeaWorld, and I'm standing next to this guy named Tony Martinez. This is not a gambling story, but it's a money found story. And he also he goes, and he puts his foot down, like he stops walking. He's like, and the show had just let out, and I go, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Just stand still." And then it takes about 10 minutes. The crowd's leaving the one show, going to the next area. I go, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Just don't move." And I'm like, "What's going on?" So then everybody leaves. He picks his foot up, and there's $840 in a pile under his foot. I'm like, man. So then we see this one desperate guy, and it's him. He's like, looking, he's got his pocket and grabbing, and he's got this panic look on his face. And he goes, I go, "Tony, you're a better man than me." And he goes, "Yeah, I got to give it back." He goes, "Sir," he goes, "What are you looking?" He goes, "I just lost my entire vacation, but I'm sick to my stomach." And Tony goes, "Here you go." And he goes, "Oh my God." And he just runs off. And I go, "Man, you just saved this whole family's trip."
He didn't even
nothing. But I get it. He went from I'm on vacation to like, oh my God, I just lost my entire vacation to now I'm back, and he goes back to his family. But I go, man, so this question is just asked not a lot, but I think at times Ellen and I will be walking, and you hear a machine going like you haven't pulled your ticket out yet.
Yeah.
And one time we were at the Golden Nugget, just like the Golden Nugget, and we're walking by the bar heading towards to get some dinner, and we look over it, and there's a ticket half sticking out, and we pull it out. It's $147. And we're just like, I know it's happened to some of our viewers. What do you do? Do you turn it in? Do you play it? Do you put it in with your? We waited. Ellen and I waited, and the thing is, it happened twice in the same night in the same casino, where we both saw tickets sticking. One was for 160, one was for one. I don't know if you hit your cash out ticket, but are not because you're probably losing or whatever it is, but not cognizant enough to grab the ticket. I don't.
If you don't have a Players Club card, I don't know how they could trace the person. I mean, so
yeah, and because we don't know, somebody might have saw us. I don't. Do I feel bad for the person that left their $147? But we just kept, does that make me a bad person that we kept the $147? No.
If there's no way to legally, no.
Yeah, Ellen's saying we waited. We did wait. We waited for like 5 minutes and no one came. And I go, I guess we just made $147. So
that's the best you can do.
We did put it back in. The Nugget got their money back.
I don't think you kept that 147, did you?
Kissy Cat says drinkers, yes. Oh my God, Rob, this hour we have to do another. This hour flew by.
Yeah, this went fast.
Man, oh man, we have a lot more to tell.
That's how you tell when you're with a good friend is that that flies by, right? So
thanks for coming, guys. Don't forget, reach out, hit that like and subscribe, share the channel. We have a lot. We're booked till the end of January with more guests.
Next week, subscribe.
He just like and subscribe.
Do it.
Yes, appreciate it. Share the channel out. Next Sunday, Steve and Danielle from Vegas Action, formerly Slotty D. They just joined this past week. Misty Mitch from the Philippines. We're doing it 7 p.m. 2 Sundays from now, the weekend after Thanksgiving, because it's the time. It'll be Monday morning for her. So Misty Mitch from the Philippines on November 26th at 7 p.m. The following, Ellen and I are going on a brief little 4-day cruise to Mexico on December 10th. Kristen Liu from the Tampa, Florida area on December 17th. Bama Tex emailed me 3 days ago and said, "Hey, Bubba, those shows are a lot of fun." So Bama Tex, one of your fellow viewers, Jeff from Bama, Texas, a big Alabama fan. He's joined up on December 17th. We're taking our Christmas break for all you guys. Take some time off. Salot Mates open up January 14th. Peter and Sarah, fun couple. January 21st is Gambling Mitzi. And on the 28th, Jennifer Nakayama of the Oklahoma, president and CEO of the Oklahoma City, it's a long name, president and CEO of the Oklahoma City Tourism Council downtown something. Nice lady, talk about brag about Oklahoma City, and a former associate of mine. If you want to be part of the show,
Hey,
email me.
Rose, I'm glad you had a good time. I had a good time, and Ellen, I love you too. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You do.
If you want to be part of the show, please email me at james@jscashout.com. Join in on the fun. Tell your story. A lot of laughs. You can see Rob and I go back ways, but it's neat. We'll make it so comfortable and fun for you guys. Please email me at james@jscashout.com. Join in on the fun. Love you guys. Thanks to all the viewers. Rob, love you, buddy.
Love you, man.
Talk to you soon, man.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody. Have a great football Sunday.
Yeah. Good luck, everybody.
All right. Go Aztecs. Right there. Aztecs for life.
Basketball is back, baby.
That's right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
See you, Rob. I'll call you right now.
Okay, sounds good.